on there. So I think the board needs to select somebody else for January upcoming meeting.
Okay, and with that, returning now to Manager Hawks, I know we have a January session coming up for board of directors. I don't know, will you have the election for that prior? It's usually after, but we do need somebody to represent for that as well.
It's usually,
Like Carolina.
Yeah.
So we will be having that. I will be sending out emails here shortly for all elected officials to vote for the New Mexico County seat that you are currently on. We have to have that election before January the 13th. All of anybody that wants to run would have to let me know in writing by the meeting. But I am working on that letter. I will send it out to all elected officials, and we will have that election before January.
Okay, thank you. That would answer my question. And in the past, the person that was usually on that board was the one who.
went to NMCIA too.
Yes.
I think that's correct. That's the way that this board has done it. However, yeah, according to the NMCIA bylaws, this board selects. So I think that they have requested that we put somebody in until the election.
Okay. Do we have a motion? A nomination?
I would nominate one of the other three commissioners. Who wants it?
The new guy coming. Can we do that?
I'd rather him know what he's getting into.
Just you want me to get Joe?
Yeah,
Are any of the commissioners or is anybody interested in the board of directors, I guess, because if you're gonna represent on this one, it might be a good idea to.
I'm gonna put my name in for that one. Manny. When you asked me to attend that last time, it was very interesting and a lot of things go on there. So I'm gonna be putting my name in.
So you would notify me in writing. I'm working on that letter to send out to all elected officials. It'll have the time, dates, and
Joe said yes on the
when you would
insurance.
need to let me know. But all my letter will have all that information,
Thank you.
okay?
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Commissioner Gonzalez to be on that insurance.
We have a nomination for Commissioner Gonzalez. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Are there any more nominations? Hearing none, we'll call Commissioner Gonzalez by acclamation. Fair enough.
Yes.
So moving on to letter G, letter of support for interchange MP 139 I-25 SR 380. That's the San Antonio on-ramp.
Mr. Chairman, this is when we met on the internet, I asked Mike to draft this letter to show support that we want that interchange improved. It's been needed for a long time. If you guys want to read the letter, it's 2-page, but it's here for you to read. I don't want to read it all because of time. But I strongly recommend that we, as a commission, support this and we can send it up to change. So my recommendation would be letter of support to replace I-25 US 380 interchange at San Antonio, New Mexico.
We have a motion by Chairman Martinez. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Commissioner Duggins. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to letter H, the consideration of Sheriff's Office request for an administrative assistant position. Newly elected Sheriff, Mr. Polo Armijo.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, I'd like to start out real quick by saying thank you, Emmanuel. You have always been there for us, and since the day you came on, you called us, you took care of us. When I needed help, when the Sheriff's Office needed help, you were always there. And I'll never forget that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now the position for an admin assistant, like I told you in the past, it's really, really needed. Amanda does the work of numerous people, and that could be really stressful, and that's going to burn her out if it hasn't already. She's a trooper, and she's at her desk all day, every day, and she's always doing something. And to get somebody in there to help us is gonna be invaluable. And like I said before, some of the, there's other agencies have. Other agencies, even of the same size of a department, have a couple, 3 different people that do the job that she does by herself. And it's something that is very important to us. It's very important to us to get told. And that being said, I would throw our socks at mercy for this one. Probably for a bunch more to come, so. Thank you.
Any comments from the commission right now?
Mr. Chairman,
Chairman Martinez.
Mike, what is your recommendation on this? Is this budgeted already, this amount of money?
That amount is not budgeted, and if you recall the last commission meeting, the commission agreed and directed me to meet with the newly elected sheriff and Amanda, and in the interim, do a 3-year historical analysis on salary savings and to see if that position could be funded, drawing a medium of salary savings, if that could be done. Unfortunately, the analysis showed that the sheriff's office only realized about $1,000 in salary savings. I know there's nobody else. I mean, I did 24 years in law enforcement and then in and out of several things since then. So there's nobody that understands more the need at the sheriff's office than I do. I know that may sound egotistical, but I'm very well aware of what goes on there and the needs. Budgetarily, that would mean 75% with the new compensation, if the board takes a new compensation package and approves it. Just salary wise is about 48,000 plus benefits. So depending on the person, you could kick that up to about 60 to almost 70,000 in cost to the budget. And we're already having some other heavily budget impacts. And I know, I believe there's another item on the agenda to take some money and to try to allocate some funds that are available within the sheriff's department for a COLA. My recommendation would try to utilize some of those funds to help fund this position so that therefore the impact budgetarily to the county isn't as intense, and that would be the direction that I would suggest. Otherwise, it's a huge economic impact to the overall general budget.
Me and Amanda discussed it, where's Amanda? And we didn't see a problem with, and I think it was the first initial year that you talked about, of us putting in some of that money from so we talked about something like putting in $20,000 out of what we have in that account. Am I right, Amanda? And he said, I believe you said, right, 25,000, and that would probably be helpful for the first year anyway. We couldn't do that every other year because we don't know how much money we're gonna have in that account. Plus we had some other items that we wanted to use with that money. It's just that, I mean, that position is really, really important to us. So.
Just a second, you said out of that account, which account?
It's a White Sands account.
Okay, so out of the account.
Chair and I, Commissioner, thank you, Lee. That's exactly the conversation we had. The amount of 20 to 25 obviously softens the impact of the initial year. It doesn't get us further down the road. But there are some other things, they've applied for grants and stuff on, hopefully if they're successful, that will help on the budget. And so that's why I'm suggesting that possibility. Otherwise, I guess commission would have to consider the full impact of that amount on the general fund.
This is a little difficult then, because we got them so separated that would have been good to, on this, and I'm sorry for jumping like this, but the very next one is the school resource officer. Is that gonna be a new position as well, or?
So I have good news. I've been working real closely, with, Ron Hendricks, superintendent, and, we had a meeting with the city, county, schools, and, we sat down and we talked them through some ideas around basically, and since then I talked to Ron a few times, and he's going to create a position, based off of some money a position they haven't been able to fill, plus some of their, money that they have. I forgot the exact name of the money that it was, but they're going to be able to put them together at no cost for us. The only thing that we ask at that for this is that we're allowed to help them, because we told them of course we're going to help them with our commission, right? So that officer is going to need a commission from somewhere. The sheriff's office will give them a commission. Because they're putting all their money into paying an officer and those benefits, we're asking that we're able to help them with equipment, a vehicle. If it's lent to them at first, or we sell it to them for, a very nominal fee, we are able to help them with the things that they need, whatever they lack as far as to have an officer. So they necessarily won't come out of our budget, it'll just come up with what we already have. I think, as far as a firearm and stuff like that, I don't think we'll have to worry about that. But maybe a vehicle, training, we have the academy, which costs us like $70 a year, plus any training that we put on ourselves. And if the school wants to send them to training, then the school can pay for that training, right? So, but we'll just keep them with all their biennium and annual training so that they can keep their certification and stuff like that, so. And we do have some people in mind for that position, and Ron is all about it, so.
It's okay, pretty much no cost other than,
No cost other than training and equipment, and that one isn't really a
oh,
cost.
that clarifies that one a little bit. And I hate to do this, but I'm gonna open up that third one now with the sheriff's office request for the use of the White Sands Missile Range Fund. Sheriff, are we home? You wanna? Does this make sense, commissioners, or we know we're leading on all three of them?
Yes, Chairman.
Commissioners, Chair. So the money that I'm requesting to give a one-time cost of living is money that we already have in White Sands. I talked to the county manager and he said we couldn't do it. So I need to come to the commission. I don't know why I have to ask to spend that money. It's money we already have in our budget. It's not coming out of the budget. It's not coming out of the county monies. This is money that came from the White Sands job that we do. And I just want to give them a one-time increase or a cost of living before I leave.
Commissioners,
Mr. Chairman,
Chairman Martinez.
Sheriff, by our manager saying it's not doable, is it because it's not legal, or why is he saying that? Or Mike?
According to him, the contract says we can't do it. I've read the contract. I submitted it with our agenda request. I see nothing in it that says we cannot do it.
Well, one more comment, Mr. Chairman. I know when we were discussing the essential workers, we wanted to give them a bonus, $5,000, I think it was at that time. But legally, we couldn't do it, if I remember correctly. We had to do it, they had to work the hours in order for us to compensate them that way, correct?
Let's see, correct, let me answer two of those questions. First of all, Mike and I discussed this. Yes, you can, the contract itself doesn't prohibit the use of those funds. I think Mike was saying, he thinks those funds need to be used, for the executive secretary position. To your point, yes, that's correct. If you approve basically essentially a bonus, it can't be a bonus, it has to be in the future. So what we would have to do is we would have to say, all right, these are the conditions. You get, this money will be paid out, at the last payroll in December, as long as you are employed between here and, whatever the last payroll is. So it can't be a bonus, but it can be a prospective grant of money, which like we did for the what do you call it?
Essential workers.
The ARPA money. That's right.
Any more, Chairman? Commissioners? I got one question, Sheriff, as far as this other position goes and hearing what Lee had to say. Are you comfortable on holding any of that back to create that position?
We have the money in there now, but that money's not guaranteed. So we've been building that money up since we started this contract with White Sands. So it's not guaranteed. So if we fill a position and we're committing money from this fund, it may not be there. It's taken us years to build this amount up that we have in there now. And so I would very literally go into a contract or put this money toward a position. I personally wouldn't do it. We can do that now and we can put it toward it now because we do have some money in there, but it's not guaranteed beyond this year.
Another question, Mr. Chairman. How much money is in there now?
It's mid-50s. We got 54, something like that. 63.
63. And you're looking at giving what kind of compensation?
Total amount?
$1,000 cost of living adjustment for every employee in the sheriff's office minus myself.
Which would be
15 employees.
15,000. Oh, minus you, 14.
You said there's 54 in there?
63. I thought we used some of it, but 63.
How long is this contract in place with White Sands?
3 years. So this is the end of the 3rd year.
30. And it's a year-to-year contract,
It's a 3-year contract.
a year?
Yes, sir.
Expired March of 2023, I think.
Sheriff, are you planning on redoing it?
Oh, yeah, we will. I think we slow down a little bit now, but then they pick up and we'll have a bunch in 1 month and then we won't have anything like we haven't had for about 2.5 months. So it's just really sporadic on how they want. It's really sporadic on how they do it. I've been dealing with them and range control and stuff, and you just never know when they're gonna have one. And a lot of times it's just one person that they need. So over 3 years, we were able to build up this money because there was 1 year where they had a whole bunch. And then a few there after that.
And if this approved, Attorney Nance, you said it would be distributed on the last payroll to the employees who are still employed at the last payroll of December?
You would have to set conditions on it if it's something you want to do. You'd have to say, when is our last payroll?
Last payroll actually extends into 2023.
And it would be 2020, whatever the last payroll is, you have to say, for those persons employed between now and the next payroll, they may be eligible for this.
And there's no way to have any of this done prior to Christmas?
I have to defer to Mike on that.
No
I don't
legal
know.
way?
What's that? No. Legally, it's just legally, you just have to do it in the future. So, you could do it you could say, but employed between here and December 24th, certainly, but I think I'd leave it up to Mike whether or not there's, what you have to do with payroll, with the functional payroll. Legally, you can, there's no problem. It just has to be from this point to another point.
There's another, the next pay period ending is, I believe it ending is the 23rd, payday is the 30th, so pay period ending, the next pay period ending is the 23rd.
So it would be on the 30th payroll.
So you could say from here till the 23rd.
And I will make that motion as the Attorney Nance just said.
Mr. Chairman,
Sheriff,
would you be willing to help on some of that money to finance your administrative assistant? Because of the financial impact, say you have 63, you take 14,000 from that, we still have some money left. Because since this wasn't budgeted, it's gonna put a financial burden. There's other decisions that we have to make between now and next year that it's financially, it's gonna impact us quite a bit. And I know when you gave up that position, when you came to the commission, you gave it up to be able to give raises to employees. And I commend you for doing that, but things have changed since then. I'm asking for your cooperation, if you would be willing to do that, to help us in order, so the burden would not be totally on the commission to finance the whole amount, which was what, you said 50,000?
So base pay based upon, again, if the commission passes the compensation package presented, that is still in play. Base pay would be 45, and then you have benefits. So, you're looking at 60 to 70,000.
And you recommended how much to help?
I asked the sheriff-elect if they had the capacity, and knowing what the budget was, the capacity and capability to pitch in 20 to 25,000 to soften the initial blow. And it's right, Lee is right. We had that discussion. Well, what about years after that? And it's pretty much like we said on other issues. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But the initial blow, because we have a possibility of implementing some stuff that are fiscally very impactful.
Yes.
So I'm trying to count the pennies, because then if you count the pennies, the other stuff hopefully will come.
For the salary increases could be. So
Yes,
I
the
don't know.
incoming sheriff and under sheriff have agreed to use some of that money to help with that.
Say again, Sheriff?
The incoming sheriff and under sheriff have agreed to use some of that money, yes,
Up to 25,000?
correct.
So. In this. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Chairman Martinez, just real quick, so I can revise my motion.
Can you say your motion? Then we do it.
I'm gonna,
I have one more question. What else do you do with this money? Operational wise?
We just use it as we need it very sparingly. We haven't had to really use any of it yet.
So you have not used any of it yet?
We've used some of it.
We use it to purchase equipment throughout the year. If we come to the end of the year and we need something that's not within our budget, then we pull money out of white sands to cover equipment costs, supply costs,
Yeah,
stuff
but
like that.
If we
you
bought
have a
short,
yearly amount about how much of that money you use for operational, roughly?
Probably $6,000-7,000.
Thank you.
And we do have some aging equipment that, we do have left after that 25,000 plus what the sheriff wanted. We have aging equipment that we would like to replace. And trust me, we've had stuff still since the prior, or before our current sheriff, that we're gonna have to replace, such as certain firearms, certain stuff that we need to do. So, it is kind of like a safety, so that way we don't have to come here begging you guys for a little extra money. If we have that, then we're able to And again, I don't know how much next year we're gonna get. If, if it continuing this year, I think this last year we've done maybe 6 or so. We haven't done very many. Last year we did a bunch. We did a bunch. And year before that was more than this year for sure.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you for helping out, both you and the sheriff and the undersheriff, because that helps. If you're willing to put some of the money, I know things can change. It might not be funded next year, but at least we have 6 months. And when you guys start negotiating the new contract with the manager, your new budget, maybe by then we'll have money from the legislature or something or whatever, but we'll work it that way. But thank you for working with us, because there's other needs that are gonna come up. The financial package is gonna be one of the pretty big ones. So this way we're spreading it to all the employees. With everybody helping each other, I think that's the only way it can be done. And before we go on, Sheriff Camilo, thank you for your service. I haven't seen you since my last commission. This will be your last meeting, I guess, and thank you so much for the time that you put in. And congratulate our new sheriff, Lee, for coming on board. Thank you also. Congratulations. That's all I have, Chairman.
Okay, so do we need a motion on okaying the use of the White Sands Missile Range funds to assist in the administrative position? Again, we're on 3 different.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I believe, and you can take them all in order. We're one after the next, but I believe you need you believe a motion to reinstate the executive secretary position, administrative assistant position, and that at least for the first year, 25,000 of the White Sands Missile Range funds.
Okay, let's start with that one. Do we have a motion?
so moved.
We have a motion by Chairman Martinez. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second by Commissioner Gonzalez. Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
And
Thank you,
if I might, just really quickly, I just want to clarify for the statute, just so that there's no confusion, sorry. We have it titled as administrative assistant. It's the same as the executive secretary. So those are not 2 different positions. That's one and the same person. So under the statute, they call it an executive secretary, but that is this position.
Okay.
Just so, I know Lee wouldn't do this, but come back and say, all right, now I need my executive secretary. Just want to make sure that we're clear.
He said he's gonna keep coming back for more.
Okay, and since I rescinded my previous motion for the first sheriff on Milo's request on the COLA increase, I've got a question for Commissioner Hawks. Manager Hawks, by doing this for the sheriff's department, and I'm glad you guys had the budget, but there's several budgets out there that didn't. Is it gonna kill us for a $500 bonus for the rest of the employees?
If we,
We're talking like 57,000. I mean,
well, it's not gonna kill us, but, and it can't be a bonus. So we make sure the terminology is correct, but, it's not gonna kill us, I guess that's the.
is it gonna be the same title as what the sheriff Armijo's trying to do?
I don't know what I'm gonna title that stipend.
It would be a one-time addition to payroll.
So one-time addition.
Okay. Then
Is it giving you a headache? That's what I want to know.
So
you're going with a 20 to 10, so I'm just doing 10 at a time.
So it won't kill us, Commissioner. And actually, it would sort of ease the animosity and maybe other things that could be put into play with one department receiving something and with nobody else. So that's something, I mean, we talked about hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, so 57,000 at this point. Pretty much almost break even if the sheriff's helps us with the other positions. So it's kind of almost a wash. So
Okay.
It is Christmas.
Yeah, ma'am.
Are elected officials appointed?
I do not know if that's legal at this point. Ma'am, that'd be a good question. for
You
us.
cannot do, not elected officials. Appointed, yes,
That's a good question, Chris. I know
yes.
I've been unable to
Yes, not
compensate as
elected.
much as I wanted to, and I apologize for that. So with that, that would be my motion that we go ahead with the first sheriff's out of the White Sands Missile Range for $1,000 for each of his employees for the COLA. And in addition to that, my motion would be for the rest of the county employees to receive the $500 one-time wage adjustment. That's my motion.
And just to clarify, those employees employed now through December 23rd, and that the sheriff's department does not also receive the 500, they just get the 1,000. Just to clarify.
Correct.
Okay.
And you need to stay working till Christmas Eve.
My motto is every day is Christmas, so I'll second that.
So is there any more discussion on this matter? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to resolution 2022-73, NMDOT, 3 Tanks Road. I believe that's up in Alamo.
sorry, let me. I'm still listening to my tie, Commissioner.
I know more than time.
Not even tied, Mike. Must be something else going on.
Good.
Oh, yeah. With us. He was be home, but they got a vehicle broke
Yes.
down on the road.
President, Chairman Anaya, Commission, in your packet, you have the resolution 2022-73, anticipated a capital outlay or participation in capital outlay program in which the project is estimated to be $3,100,000 funded into personal shares, with NMDOT providing 95% of that and Socorro County 5% of that. And with that, I recommend a do pass.
Well, I would make the motion that we,
We have a motion by Commissioner Duggins. We have a second. We have a second by Commissioner Secretarial. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
vehicle.
Moving on to discussion and direction in reference to re-implement the investment committee. I had asked for this to be back on the table at the last meeting just because I thought it was a good idea. And I will make the motion that we re-implement the investment committee and the next commission could, unless Chairman Martinez, you wanna get the structure of that right now. It was Mike, any commissioner, doesn't matter who, and
Finance director.
finance director and the county treasurer.
Correct.
Well, if you don't mind, we can table it until our new other commissioner comes on board.
Okay,
And that way, thank you for putting it on there. That way, yeah, I would, it would be good.
sounds good. AM is table. Moving on to approve and acknowledge the public health division plans.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, sir.
I do have to run. My boys have a vehicle broke down on the road. And I do want to wish you a Merry Christmas, good health and peace, prosperity. And for you, I can't help but like you, you know. We've had we've had our little battles, haven't we? But I'm leaving in good terms and I do care.
And you're a friend, which will be.
And so we'll. I'm gonna throw this in. Where do we?
Right here.
We haven't had no differences, have we?
And you know,
We really haven't.
no, you know, a board of like is no good to anybody. You have to be able to argue not in an argue, but I mean, argue your thoughts freely
Right.
with all the gusto that you can. And if you can lose, and if you can go through that, and at the end of the day, you can still be friends, that's a good thing. A yes man board, that's no good.
Right there.
Okay, so we were on the public health division fund,
Yes.
Mike or?
Okay.
Chairman, I got you in your packet, you have the public health division plans. All I need is, I recommend an approval of the plan that's required in order to receive that funds. And, actually, they're allocated from our state rep, Gail Armstrong, when it goes through the state.
So moved. We have a motion by Commissioner Gonzalez, we have a second. Second by Commissioner Secretary, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And moving on to recognition of Sheriff Amigo.
And Commissioner Anaya.
And my son. There you go.
It's this year's.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yay. Knew that was gonna happen. And I just wanted to say, Sheriff Amigo, he's been through some crazy times, and I've known him all my life, but these past 8 years were incredible. And there's some really tragic moments. As
You have a
sheriff,
Merry Christmas too.
I appreciate everything he's done for this community, and I feel bad for a lot of the things he went through. It was tough. He's an incredible man, an incredible father, and a hell of a friend. I wish he would have stuck around a little bit. I knew he'd come up here.
I think better than me would be the person that was.
Oh, Amanda, yes, Amanda.
Who made it.
When you come up there and get this, please, and let them know we want to worry in.
Not for you.
Let me take a picture. No.
Show it up.
Get all pulled together. I can take. Yeah.
Right color, wrong name.
Say cheese. Cheese. Okay, got it.
Wait.
Wait.
Man, I just want to say, if I had known you were a Cowboys fan, we would have gotten along.
Where's Ian?
Would have held off on some of those. There's we use the service and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
It's him. Cheese.
Not willing to talk a lot, but I got some things to say. Thank you guys for everything.
Thank you, man.
Commission has been incredible. The management is unreal. Probably bothered Mr. Nance more than I should have.
Never.
But being here with this group and the prior group, I've learned so much. I was blessed because you had experts in everything, finance, law. Joe with his construction, with his love for his fire department, his health, his everything. Ray, roads, educators, Navajo Nation part of this. You got Juan Gutierrez, who gave me the best advice. You don't have to explain nothing, just vote. If it's no, it's no. Nobody needs to know why. And I love the man, and he was great at everything. But like I said, everyone had their expertise, and you guys really need to see Adrian dance. He's incredible. And in January for the last 8 years, I really enjoyed it, and I think I learned a couple of things, but this was fun. I wanted to do so much more. I hope you guys are at least okay with life, and I wish you guys the best. You guys deserve it. The hardest working county I know, and thank you guys for everything.
Thank you.
Then I'll get, I can take a picture.
Say cheese. Thank you for everything.
Yes.
Thank you, yes.
Really quick, Commissioner and we want to give you this. This is, I've worked with you for 8 years and, just respect the heck out of you. You've done so much for our community. Your heart is, has always led you in the right place, and can't think of a better leader. So thank you very much, Commissioner.
Appreciate it. So that was the really, really important people. I like to thank my family, my wife, my kids, my sister, my mom. She's my stone. My brothers, they like politics a lot more than I do. You guys, I'll help where I can, but thank you guys for everything.
Good.
Oh, no. So moving on. We need a motion to make personnel changes.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Chairman Martinez. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second by Commissioner Gonzalez. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to financial action items. A, approve vendor checks, and B, approve payroll checks.
We'll bundle them all together.
Yeah.
Make the motion to approve, A, approve vendor checks, and B, payroll checks.
We have a motion by Chairman Martinez. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second by Commissioner Gonzalez. All in favor?
Aye.
And the next commission meeting is,
14.
where are we at? Oh, the action ordinance, I'm sorry. Moving on to new business after executive, proposed direction to staff regarding the feeder program, the RFP, and the NMAAA.
Mike, item 14.
If I might,
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I believe the motion would be to authorize the manager to approve a 6-month addition to the RFP contract to end June, I believe June 30th.
As operationals are currently run. Do we have a motion?
Till June. And then the rest of the stuff Mike can do on his own.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Gonzalez. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Commissioner Secretarial. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to P, resolution 2022-74, setting the salaries for elected officials.
And Mr. Chairman, members of the board, in order for salaries for elected officials to change, the Constitution does not allow it to happen during their term of office. So if you approve this salary schedule for the elected officials, it will go into effect for anyone taking a new oath of office. So it will not go into effect for those that are currently sitting.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Chairman Martinez. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Commissioner Secretarial. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now Q, direction to staff regarding employee pay plan. Do we have a motion to approve?
I make the motion to approve the pay plan for all the employees and we have given the manager direction of how to implement. He will be meeting with the department employees to go off of that plan,
Finalize the numbers.
finalizing the numbers. This was a big thing. It took a lot of work on the manager and the commission to come up with a system for all employees. I think it's gonna help all the employees and for future employees that come in, where we have a minimum, we have a midpoint, and a final salary. With that, I think it's a 2% increase if you have a good evaluation every year, where you'll be able to get a raise, which is very, very good. Having the money, if we have the money to be able to do that, but at least there's a plan in place where a new employee comes in, he knows where he starts. It's a fair system where he'll know where he's gonna start and where he can go, where he can move around. It was a big thing, so I thank the manager. That it's a lot of work. It still needs a lot of work. So thank you. Will be sustainable for, we hope, for 10 years, no?
Pretty.
Longer, but at least we have coming here.
Commissioner, that was me, probably poorly. We have a motion by Chairman Martinez. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second by Commissioner Gonzalez. I just want to thank the commission, and especially Mike, for doing this. I know it's been a headache, and it's a plan that we needed. Thank you guys for doing this. It's been a long time coming. All in favor?
Bye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next. Yes, yeah.
May I ask a question on the $500? Do appointed officials qualify for that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Alright.
Okay.
Next commission meeting is dated January 10th, 2023 at 9 a.m. This meeting is adjourned.
You don't have to come, Mike. I mean, Amanda, you don't have to come.
Yeah.
You gotta finalize it.